hi, I'm Grandma Sparky. My real name is Helice, like Helice, like hell on ice. Can melt the block of ice with my heart. My last name is Bridges, like a bridge builder. I am the founder of Blue Ribbons Worldwide, and our mission is uniting humanity through the power of love, one child, one community, one country at a time. The United States of America, we are divided here, we are divided all over the world. What is it that can bring people together so that we build people up instead of put them down, that we empower each other's dreams rather than tell everybody you're dumb and crazy, it can never happen? And no matter what age we are, I'm 81 years young, and whether we're a child and we have a dream, where I'm the age that I am right now, we all need to have cheerleaders jumping for our dreams to tell us, yes, you can do it. I believe in you. Who you are makes a difference, because in my experience, about 95% of people are told that they don't matter or feel like they don't matter. I'm not enough yet. If only I had more money. If only I was thinner. If only I was younger. If only I was older. If only something. And right now, what we're doing is cultivating fertile soil to grow our greatness in. And with that, I just want to share a couple of books that we have, Blue Ribbons Worldwide. And one is Who I Am Makes a Difference, okay, that you can order on our website at Blue Ribbons, by the way, BLUERIBBONS.org. And I'm going to show you the ribbon, and I'll tell you about our children's book. And then I've got a special guest who is right with me right now, this gorgeous woman. And I will tell you about Beatriz Bron in a minute, because you deserve to hear from her heart, to learn from her, because she is a genius author, and I'll tell you more about her in a moment. This is a blue ribbon that I created 44 years ago. It says, "Who I am makes a difference." And I would love to honor all of you watching right now with this ceremony that I created, that it's now reached over 50 million people in 12 languages. The ribbon says, "Who I am makes a difference." And it is an honor to acknowledge you who's listening and watching right now, and tell you that you do matter, that wherever you are in life, you can begin to know the next branch, the next blossom for yourself. You deserve to be around great people that cheer you on, remind you that you can do it. Well, I believe in you. I love you. And who you are makes a difference. Would you accept this gift? Yes, thank you. May I have permission to place it on you? And those of you that are watching, I'm going to place it above my heart, and I'm going to show you how. Oh, Beatriz is doing it right now. So isn't that gorgeous? So that's where it goes. It goes above your heart. It points up toward all your greatest dreams coming true. There are cheerleaders in this ribbon. And in order to get them jumping for your dreams, we're going to take the spark from our hearts and put it in your ribbon. It is the sound that makes dreams come true. And the sound is in a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Bing, bing. B-I-N-G, bing. And every time you hear a bing, you'll know that the child inside of us just got our dream. Let me introduce you to my great colleague, my friend, Beatriz Bron. Beatriz is an author. She is a graduate of our Standing Strong Together Community Building Leadership Training certification. So she's certified to teach what I teach, and she does that. She is a keynote speaker and a trainer for corporations, organizations, schools. So hi, I'm Grandma Sparky. My real name is Helice, like Helice, like hell on ice. can melt the block of ice with my heart. My last name is Bridges, like a bridge builder. I am the founder of Blue Ribbons Worldwide, and our mission is uniting humanity through the power of love, one child, one community, one country at a time. And in our world that it might have, in the United States of America, we are divided here, we are divided all over the world. What is it that can bring people together so that we build people up instead of put them down, that we empower each other's dreams rather than tell everybody you're dumb and crazy, it can never happen? And no matter what age we are, I'm 81 years young, and whether we're a child and we have a dream, where I'm the age that I am right now, we all need to have cheerleaders jumping for our dreams to tell us, yes, you can do it. I believe in you. Who you are makes a difference. Because in my experience, about 95% of people are told that they don't matter or feel like they don't matter. I'm not enough yet. If only I had more money. If only I was thinner. If only I was younger. If only I was older. If only something. And right now, what we're doing is cultivating fertile soil to grow our greatness in. And with that, I just want to share a couple of books that we have, Blue Ribbons Worldwide. And one is Who I Am Makes a Difference, okay, that you can order on our website at Blue Ribbons, by the way, BLUERIBBONS.org. And I'm going to show you the ribbon, and I'll tell you about our children's book. And then I've got a special guest who is right with me right now, this gorgeous woman. And I will tell you about Beatriz Bron in a minute, because you deserve to hear from her heart, to learn from her, because she is a genius author, and I'll tell you more about her in a moment. This is a blue ribbon that I created 44 years ago. It says, Who I Am Makes a Difference. And I would love to honor all of you watching right now with this ceremony that I created, that it's now reached over 50 million people in 12 languages. The ribbon says, Who I Am Makes a Difference. And it is an honor to acknowledge you who's listening and watching right now, and tell you that you do matter, that wherever you are in life, you can begin to know the next branch, the next blossom for yourself. You deserve to be around great people that cheer you on, remind you that you can do it. Well, I believe in you. I love you. And who you are makes a difference. Would you accept this gift? Yes, thank you. May I have permission to place it on you? And those of you that are watching, I'm going to place it above my heart, and I'm going to show you how. Oh, Beatriz is doing it right now. So isn't that gorgeous? So that's where it goes. It goes above your heart. It points up toward all your greatest dreams coming true. There are cheerleaders in this ribbon. And in order to get them jumping for your dreams, we're going to take the spark from our hearts and put it in your ribbon. It is the sound that makes dreams come true. And the sound is in a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Bing, bing. B-I-N-G, bing. And every time you hear a bing, you'll know that the child inside of us just got our dream. And with that, let me introduce you to my great colleague, my friend, Beatriz Bron. This is her book. She'll tell you more about this, okay? And let me give a kiss to it. And Beatriz is an author. She is a graduate of our Standing Strong Together community building leadership training certification. So she's certified to teach what I teach, and she does that. And she also she is a keynote speaker and a trainer for corporations, organizations, schools, and she is in Costa Rica, but you influence people all over the world. So why don't you kind of tell us how we got together, and the difference that made. And we're just going to kind of just chat and discover what we want to share with everybody watching today.
First of all, I'm honored to be here with you and your audience, sharing the knowledge and the sharing and the love that we all bring. Yes. In a different way, in different cultures, with different language, but at the end of the day, it's the same language because it's the language of love. Yes. So it's for me a great honor and pleasure to be here. And it's even more the story that we have of how we met, because I was in San Diego doing a leadership program, the Global Leadership Program with Susie Carter. And then Grandma Sparky went to the front and started telling her story and sharing what she wanted us to do with the amazing blue ribbon.
So let me slow you down for a minute for everybody to just hear what you're saying. So Susie Carter is both of our mentors.
Yes.
Okay. She is also a longtime colleague and friend of mine who started, we met 30 years ago through the Blue Ribbon. This is a training that she was producing, of which you were there being trained.
Yeah, it was a 1-year course, and we had to come every 3 months to San Diego. And in the first time,
right? So, and she invited me to come up to the front. So I want to get it the backdrop of what this is, because Susie Carter is a master mentor of me, of you, of great people. She's called a prophet coach. So keep talking.
So we got 3 of these little ribbons that they seem insignificant. And we honored each other with the ceremony, with the 7-step ceremony of the blue ribbon. And what I can tell you is the feeling that you get of being honored and recognized and acknowledged has no price. Because it's not only that you receive it from the person that is next to you that hardly knows you, but says amazing things about you, that what the impressions they got in the 2-3 days of the workshop, but also the great feeling of giving that honor, acknowledgement, and recognition to the other person. It's a feeling that it's very hard to describe how deep it comes. Is, as we say, is the oxytocin hug that we get in a multiplied and exponential that we all need in order to feel safe, to make our dreams come true, and to dare to dream. Because I have found, Grandma, a lot of people that doesn't matter what age, 30, that it's half my age and even younger, that they don't dare to dream anymore. They just like, it's over. I cannot dream. It's not possible for me. And just this little ceremony brings tears to their eyes and free the throat, that it's always here and not, it lets freeze and it says, oh, there is a possibility. Even if it's a small ray of light, but it is. So it's an amazing work. So that's how I met Grandma Sparky there, but we didn't really engage there. Although I bought like 500 ribbons to bring home to Costa Rica to start working a little bit in my workshops and just drops here and there, but not really connect. It was just like when I did this first one, remember? That
hold on. Let's slow down a minute. Put the materials down for just a second. So I want to just like capture what you're saying, right? So here I was up in the front of the room. Susie brought me up to teach everybody how to do the ceremony. And everybody got matched up. She had purchased 1,000 blue ribbons and said, don't tell anybody until I bring you in. It was last day, I think, and everybody got a chance to honor each other. What I believe you're saying is that in those 30 or 60 seconds, in that short time, I always say in 60 seconds or less, you can change a life. So we consider that sometimes people say something like, thank you, or I want to tell you how much you matter. And we go, yeah, but I'm busy right now and I haven't done this and that. And we do what's called a takeaway. Yes.
Yes.
Why you're saying it's so significant. And while it's a tool, and it seems like it's only 60 seconds or less, and it's, costs 25 cents a ribbon, for goodness sake, that this particular 7-step is, it actually hits every mark of what the human spirit needs. It's scientific, it's an award, but it really speaks to the heart. So with that said, before you bring in the other tool, and I'm going to invite you to hold it very steady when you hold it up, so, and off to the side of your face a little bit, so that when you do it, we can, so it doesn't move back and forth, and then we can pay more attention to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, perfectly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so good. So yes, so then what I think you're saying now is that when you came home back to Costa Rica, and then you realized, well, I wanted to incorporate this, I think.
Exactly.
Is that right? And
Yeah.
this is before you took Standing Strong Together or after?
No,
oh,
long
oh,
before.
oh,
I just started to write the book also. So I just started to work in this world of opening hearts and minds to make it
okay.
safe. Because my background is to close doors in security and make everybody feel safe, selling padlocks and locks and everything.
So
So
before you say that, we're talking to an audience that doesn't understand what that your
I want to, yeah.
backstory. So I want to slow you down a little bit and just say, tell everybody a little bit about your backstory and then how you came to doing the blue ribbon and bringing that into your life before you actually wound up in our training, Standing Strong Together. Go ahead, say that.
Yeah. So for 30 years, I worked in security selling mechanical products like padlocks, doors to close doors and help people feel safe closing doors. And it's protect what they have. And the world, because of circumstances of divorce and other things, brought me to my core that I studied behavioral sciences. So I had to reinvent myself and come back to my core. And in that time, I started to explore how to open minds and hearts to make people feel safe. So I realized during that time that I was simply doing the same thing as before, only on the other side of the coin, right? It's like God or the universe or whatever you want to call it told me, hello, not this way. You're meant to do it this way to help people feel safe. So that's when I started with phototherapy and other tools to come back to me and reinvent myself. That's why I did the global leadership program with Susie when I met you. So after that, I saw an amazing tool to help people open hearts and minds and connect. That is the blue ribbon. That's when I met you. So I brought them back home to incorporate it in the work that I already started doing. But I didn't really invest in this, I put it together with my workshops. Yes, I did it at the end of each workshop, and I saw how people change their faces, how their skin softens and the eyes open. And it's like a new hope comes into their lives with this ceremony. So I start doing it, but what really happens is that the pandemic came and I just left it, and I invested more in doing online courses and how to I can work with, okay, in the pandemic without being hurt too much. So I invested in doing programs for myself. And after the pandemic, I felt like I'm stuck. Now what? What do I do? And this is when the magic comes. Then I placed a sign on a board in my office that said, God, what is your dream for me? And I left it there because I heard once Oprah said that. So I said, I will do it because I know God will send me a bigger dream than the ones that I have for myself. So I put it in a board this little sign that says, God, what is your dream for me? And I left it there. And I dreamt about, that night, I dreamt about Grandma Sparky. So, oh, okay, interesting. Grandma Sparky. So I wrote, Grandma, what's new? I'm here from Costa Rica. I met you in Global Leadership with Susie. Answer, let's talk. Grandma, answer me in the morning. Let's talk. So I said, okay. So we started to talk, and I said, this is my way to go. So that's when I enrolled to the program of Strong Together. And from there is little by little. I cannot say that I'm at the top of this ladder. No, I'm just going step by step, going and developing and seeing what I can do and how I can expand and I usually used to work with people that are 35 plus, and I'm starting to go to school. So that's opens also my definition that I'm in my second adolescence, no? That it's also, I didn't know what to do, where to be, what to say, and or hormonal challenges. So
let me just say something that so everybody can understand what more of what you're bringing to us and teaching us right now. Okay? Is that you know, you can have a seed and you can have the instructions in a little envelope that says plant the seed, but then it says fertilize it, the soil, then it says water and sunshine and so forth, and then pull out the weeds as the flower is growing or whatever. And I think about human beings like you and I is we all of a sudden are a seed planted inside of us, and when we come to major courses like Susie Carter's, and we invest in a year's program, in a global leadership program, there is a whole lot of stuff that needs to be done because you are now going to be planting the seeds of others and blossoming them, but we have to do it for ourselves first, yes?
Oh, yes.
And in the process of doing that, we come up against what we're good at, we come against the rejection of others, we come against, do I know enough? Did I write a book? How do I market it? How do I sell it? How do I stand on the stage? How do I speak? And all those things. So why I want to bring that out is because when we talked initially, you said, I want to make a difference for children. I remember that. And I said, okay, let me show you how. Mm-hmm. But it also isn't that easy to get into the educational world because, you know, it's a paradigm shift that we're all digging the, putting our shovel in the dirt and turning this soil so that it's more fertilized for young people. And it's difficult for educators to make that move initially, saying, well, wait a second, I know how to teach reading, writing, and arithmetic, but we're talking about evolving a human spirit. And that takes a little bit of a different cultivation. And I believe that's where what your charm and what you're brilliant, especially, and you're right behind you is this book also, but I want to bring it up because yes, right here, and then you can bring it up from yourself because it's translated from Spanish to say it's flip it. Am I right?
Flip it over, yeah. It says flip it over, yeah. And in Spanish, dale vuelta. That it's a whole philosophy of empowerment. That the combination of the book with the blue ribbon makes really nice things because.
May I pause you for a second? I'm going to
Yeah.
coach you because this will be edited out. But when you hold this up, hold it up not this way against your face, but hold it more like this, not in front of you. Yes, watch me. Okay. So watch when you hold it up so that your face, and make sure it's not too close, but like that. Okay. And really something because we may move a lot of things a lot. I've done 12 years of Toastmasters, so I'm just kind of holding that. So we will edit that. So I want you to make sure that I don't lose your face in that. Okay, go. So talk about the book.
So the book is like a empowerment workshop in a book format. It has exercises inside. It's not a book to read one time. It's chapter by chapter, internalize it, think it. And it's written especially for people that don't like to read.
Tell us the name of the book again.
Flip it over, dale vuelta in Spanish.
Okay, move the book a little bit off to the side. We're going to redo this whole piece for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So the book in English is called Flip It Over. That I am printing it now, but it's in a PDF also. It says Dale Vuelta in Spanish. It's empowerment philosophy. The idea is, you can see that you say, oh, she's holding the book backwards. No, I'm not holding the book backwards. It's read backwards. I did it intentionally because I designed the book in order for people that don't like to read to change their minds from the beginning. What does it mean? If I read it from the back to the front, I take out the automatic way of reading a book. So I have to think what side, how do I turn the page? Where do I start to read? So in a very soft way, I am changing the connections of the mind and working without the person really feeling or making any effort or extreme effort to internalize what is written. The first introduction is how to work with the book, okay, and the explanation what is happening in our mind when we read this way.
So let me pause you for a second before you turn any more pages. Let me just lay it very simply in about 30 seconds. Okay. What I believe is so brilliant about you is that the book is called Flip It, okay? And it allows us to read the book from the back to the front rather than the front to the back because it makes us think differently.
Exactly.
Of the way we always do things, if I'm hearing you correctly. We always think, okay, we've got a routine and we always open a book this way. But no, you're saying, wait a minute, this is a whole philosophy. We're going to start with the back first, and we're going to flip the way you think, and all the exercises without going through all the exercises, the bottom line, I think, that you're saying here is that you've written something that is graphically brilliant.
Thank you.
It's engaging and it's simple.
Exactly.
And the exercises, whether you're a child or an adult, you want to do these exercises. You want to discover who you are. You want to find out what your dreams are. And by the way you ask the questions and the formula of flip it, and it's really divinely ordained.
Exactly.
It just came through you.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to say 3 main things about your book, what would it be? That people can get.
Three main things about the book. Is very easy and subtle to learn and change and flip your mind to negative thinking to positive thinking.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, it focuses you on the end. It's like reverse engineering that you can visualize yourself how every event or even your life want to end, so you can prepare today to get there. And three, it teaches you how to pause and not to run and let the mind work and connect to your soul in order that your soul directs your life and not the external. So it's a connection with you, with yourself, in order to empower, and the power is within you. So what do you really want is what you can have.
So there's 3 things that are very specific, right? And one is, it's a simple way to discover what you want in your life purpose, or whatever you want to call it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's fun and engaging.
Yes.
And it actually moves you from where you are to where you want to be, because it sets up with Stephen Covey would say, begin with the end in mind.
Exactly.
Okay. So did I hear that right?
Perfectly. Mm-hmm.
All right. And why this makes you so a great educator is because you're so much fun, and you're charismatic, and you're endearing. So when I watched your videos, and I saw your pictures of when you're with teachers, when with your students, they are alive and invested in what you're bringing to them, because they don't hear this. They don't hear people talking about, well, what's your purpose, or what's your passion? Who do you want to be, rather than what you want to do? Do you know the difference between that?
What you want to become. One of the main things that I give the tools for you to use your power to move forward in your life. I don't want you to be depending on me, of what I have to say. No, I want to give you, and that's what I do. I give the tools with my book, with the game that is called Being You, Ser Yo, or with it doesn't matter what I do, my mentoring. I'm giving you the tools. You can be whatever you want to be. You just need to take them the out of you and move forward in life with your tools. If you want to improve a little bit or specific, say something, connect with me, come back to me. I'm gladly will teach you and address you and suggest. But you have the tools. Those are the tools you need to use, your own light, because what's in here in your head, only you know. What are all the stimulus and all the factors that affect your life? I can see only a few. The only one that can see all is you. So let's turn on your light, and with the tools I'm giving you, you walk into your life.
So what you just said initially, and I want to bring this everybody full circle here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
when you said, I'm not quite there yet, when you started this conversation, and yet at the same time, all of us who are teachers and trainers are doing exactly what you're talking about every day, all the time, with the resources and tools we have. Yes?
Exactly.
So I used to hate to hear this, but we teach what we need to know most. I remember everybody would say that, and I go, please don't tell me that. Don't I already know it? And so I want to just say that the flavor that you say, it's not about yourself, it's
Mhm.
about the tools that I give you,
Mhm.
but it's also because you're learning yourself every day.
Oh, yes.
All
I
right.
have a saying that says, I know teachers say that you learn while you teach, right? That's a saying the teachers say. I said, because I was really hurt, I can say I heal while I'm healing. I heal myself while I'm healing. So all the time is like, I started all this in a very painful way. When I lost everything, I have to start all over. And like a friend told me, your heart is bleeding. Is so I had to really go soft into my heart and step by step to heal. And I really felt my highest healing when I was teaching people in jail, that I healed myself healing, because it was so wonderful how to these little things, these little tools that I gave, open their mind, their hearts. There is hope there, and that's the main thing, the hope. And Graham, I want to tell you a story of a student that I have not long ago, 30 years old. Man came, body language like that, looking down, came into one of my talks, and he bought the book, and I gave him a ribbon. And a week after, he said, he texted me, Beatriz, can I tell you something? I said, yes, wonderful. What? Said, that I was depressed, and I thought that I wasn't going to live after 40 because my life is almost over. I have no dreams, no hopes, no goals, no nothing. I said, wow. So he says, and your book, together with the ribbon, with the how do I imagine myself when I'm 90? That is one of my first questions. He says, just did like that to me. That combination, now I know that how do I want to see myself when I'm 90? So I changed my food, I changed my exercise routines, I have goals, I have more friends, I go out. It's amazing what can happen in a week. I said, oh, I'm so glad to hear. And that's the main thing of all this work for me, is the hope that you turn on in people's lives. That light that they have it inside, but it's off. They don't see it. So it's just I always say that when we are in a dark tunnel, if we light our light, there is no more darkness. We already
Yes. So here's something that's precious about what you just said, and why I have the privilege to interview you. And one is, we don't even know that there is darkness inside of us. We might drown it out with drugs and alcohol. We might consider taking our lives, like I had done a long time ago, about committing suicide. When we're depressed, the lights go off, we don't know. What you're just saying is, here is this man that is so defeated, and what you've done is, combined with your training in your book, he was able to flip it. And the reminder of this is, when somebody does stop and honor another person, like you were in Susie's class, how much somebody who you didn't even know told you so much and gave you so much love and poured into you. And there is not, yeah, but you have to change your color of your hair or you should lose weight or whatever. It's not about all that. It's really a pure recognition. That's so rare. So here is the ribbon, which is engaging and allowing him to cherish you, basically, really, and just go, wow, I feel safe with Beatriz. And I now I have the exercises so that I can see where I'm at now and where I want to be when I'm 90 years old. And I want to re-speak this because I think it's really, I started to think about it when you said that. I'm 81, going to be 82, I think, next month, or no, in a couple months, and in March 31st. And I stopped to think about that just when you said it. So sometimes we say something, and the point being is that we're doing an interview, and people will, like me, will stop and go, wait a minute, we'll go away for a minute. And I didn't want to take us too far away without reinvesting in that, in what you just said. And I start to think, well, we can, in that moment when we're writing it down, this is like New Year's resolution. Okay, I'm gonna eat better, I'm gonna have more exercise, I'm gonna have more friends, I'm gonna make more money, I'm gonna blah blah blah. Okay, I think what you're saying, and this is why it's so critical and different than New Year's resolution, is because you're committed, because somebody cares about you. And it's not just one exercise. It's like every time you turn your page, it takes you into that so that you can feel safe enough to take those kind of risks, even if it's to get one new friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have to just honor this, and I say, what is it that I'm thinking about before I'm 90 that I hadn't thought about up until you mentioned it? And while I can talk about my work for sure, and I can talk about, we want to get to billion people being honored with the blue ribbon, and speak and train and design and
And
train
dancing in Broadway.
and be on Broadway in New York, which is my next book I'll be writing. To have a musical on Broadway in New York that is called Bing, the Sound of a Billion Dreams, and how did children bring love to the whole wide world?
Mm-hmm.
So that consumes me, and it might for people in business or dream makers like ourselves. We're looking at that. The other part of it is, while I'm eating better now than I was maybe 2 years ago, I may not be exercising as much as I did 2 years ago. And so I started to think, am I drinking enough water? And who do I need to be my friend that we can, accountability partner, that goes, are you drinking 8, are you taking breaks? Are you walking? Are you doing things? And so with what you're offering us in your book, how do we flip our lives to really see who we are at this moment? And how do we also engage in your work? And we will get everybody will know who you are and how to connect with you when we post this on social media, right? Is how do we bring that bing that just says, you know, um, I take the spark from my heart and put it in your cheerleaders in your ribbon. It is the sound that makes dreams come true, and the sound is bing. And the next part of that is asking the question, what's your dream? How can I help you? What do you need? And in this exercise, I said, this is today, what is January the 16th, 2024, as we're talking. And on February 5th, next month, we will be bringing together San Diego, California, San Diego teens, enhancing the mental health of 50,000 people. Now, I came up with that concept, yes, and they will be honoring 50,000 people with our blue ribbon. Why we're interviewing is because I decided I wanted to interview the people that are really knowing the blue ribbon concept and knowing their work so well. And how can we combine this, and how can Blue Ribbons Worldwide spotlight great people like you
To
and
multiply it, to multiply this exercise, that's my dream. It's to see how it works and how can I tropicalize it, let's say it.
well, yes, and so here's what I think we're all saying. I want to bring this into anybody, because the word synergy, you know the word synergy, yes?
Yeah.
I was speaking to young people, and they were leaning in, and I said, do you know the word synergy? And they said, no. And I said, well, up until recently, it is, you've got to do everything on your own, and you don't, you're taught in school to do the grades yourself and so forth, but you don't have a team around you that can help you on every little angle that you need. And I believe that as adults now, what we're doing right now is you took a Standing Strong Together training for me. I wouldn't have known you before that. And then I say, I have another program that I know that I invite you to go into, because I think it will even give you that bigger leg up, because people like me always take these kind of courses. And then I say, what's your dream? How can I help you? What do you need? Yes. Just the three things. That's the Bing, the follow-up of the Bing. And what you're just describing right now is that when you feel loved and supported and safe, and you know that God or the universe, you ask for it and you're getting it.
And be ready to allow it and receive it, because that's the other point. That's where I focus on the online training that I did, the program that I did. It's called Permitirse. It's in Spanish right now, but with subtitles. It's allowing myself to receive, because society trains us and programs us so much that with fear, and that we are not, that we don't deserve, and so we don't allow those things to come into us, that I created this program that is a 3 months program, 27 videos, small videos, of how to allow ourselves to receive, how to allow ourselves to be the best thing we are created. And one of the, Grandma, one of the, let's say, amazing things that shocked me lately is that people that, like my age, I'm 61, I'll be 62 next month, but that are getting to the retirement age, how they think they're on the way out life, not on the way out of work. They think mentally that they are in the walking out of life. So my question always is usually to these people is, what are you going to do with the next 30 years of your life? Assuming you're getting to 90 at least, because we can get to 100 also. But and they are just like shocked. What do you mean 30 more lives? I'm on my way out. You're on your way out of your job life, but you're on your way in your really dream life. What do you want? So, that's the allowing that you're saying, how we need to allow ourselves, and when other people really tell us something, and honoring something, and when we do it to others, it's like giving them permission to do it. to shine.
Yes. So you were talking about the safety earlier and the doors and the locks on it. So let me bring that back because I think this is exactly what you're saying. And it's true for me. And I think it's true for everybody. We only, up until I got into the world of transformation and personal development, I was doing the same old every day. I'm going to work, I'm getting a paycheck, I'm coming home, I'm taking care of my husband, I'm taking care of my children. I'm not thinking that, what's going to happen in the next 10 years or before I'm 90. Okay. It's just not thinking. Plus, to be able to receive graciously, okay, which is a course that in the field of work I've done, I remember my coach, oh gosh, I forgot his name now, but the path of least resistance. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And so he, in his tape, he said, I heard about receiving, but he said receive graciously, and it took me a year to hear the word graciously. So what you're doing in receiving and giving and taking it in is not what we've been taught. Don't brag, right. So there are conditions that we've been brought up in that they're old, they're obsolete now. They just don't work.
I love when you say, for example, things that I took from you is, oh, good for me, I'm doing this great. It's like praising ourselves is like, oh, you don't do that to yourself. Right. That's not nice. That's not correct. You have to leave no. You have to leave the others to do that. And that resistance of a lot of people of our age and older to say, that's not good, that you have to let others say that. Yes, others can say that also, but I can say that too. Good for me that I did that. I'm so proud I went so well in this talk, for example. What? You saying that? Yeah. It's like that. I took that from you and I love it because it's our own recognition that we usually have the leash on our back all the time instead of feeding us with love
and respect. And yes, you're so 100% correct. Notice the blue ribbon, when we do the ceremony, I say, would you accept this gift? In order for you to say yes, you have to take that in and receive it for yourself. Excuse me. And then I say, may I have permission to place it on you? And then you have to pause a moment and say, yes. So this is twice we built in that to receive the recognition that is being given. It's subtle. You really don't realize it. But I noticed that I used to take away everything anybody said because my husband told me that I wasn't pretty enough or I wasn't this enough. And so I believe that, like anybody, a child or adult, anybody growing up that's in a negative cloud that points out what you haven't done enough yet or you're not good enough yet. It's kind of its cellular memory. But now with your work, my work, people like ourselves that have different tools in different ways. There's not one way, one restaurant to go to, not one nail polish, not one hairdresser, but not one music that we want, but to take the music in and do it like I am proud of myself. I'm grateful that I finished this amazing book. Finished it. Oh, I didn't even show this yet, but I'm going to do that with us. Okay, the children's book that I just completed. So it's Sparky and the Magic Blue Ribbon. It's how children brought love to the whole wide world. It's based on a true story of a little angel that came to me when I was 4 years old in a dream. And in that process, this took a year to write 1,000 words in a children's book. But we don't know that when we buy the book. We don't know what went into the 10 years of thinking about it. And then actually figuring out how in one little tiny thing to explain to you how to bring love to yourself, how to feel love, because we weren't taught it in this. I'm going to say one more thing. I'm going to ask you another couple questions and we're going to close on this. I've been taking a lot of Ubers lately, or Lyfts or whatever. My board member, whenever I want to go someplace, he'll say, just let me send a car for you and pick you up. So last day I've had 4 different Lyfts or Ubers, and I've had different people that were driving. And when we're speaking, you and I, when we speak into different cultures and different ages, which you were talking about, people that are at certain ages that don't have hope, people that are of certain ages that come from different cultures. And I was telling Alec, my board member, I said, I wish that I could sit and write a story about each of the drivers, because one man is so complaining about his life the whole time I couldn't even offer any gift to him. But at the end, I did honor him with the blue ribbon. And I gave him a ribbon and I said, good, go for it. I believe in you. You can do it. And that was it. That's all I could do. And that was enough. And I said, here are 2 extra ribbons. Another one of the drivers said, I put on music. He was from a different country. And he said, of all the television stations, the old and the new, and just the music that goes with it, that you would know when it was introduction music. And I have people who are angry with each other and fighting with each other in the back or whatever, they're excited. He said, I turn on the music and everybody has to think, oh, that came from I Dream of Jeannie, or this is from Cheers or whatever. And he puts on the music and I think, what a genius. So I think wherever we are, we can learn from each other. Yes.
Exactly.
And we can lighten up and we can discover this thing about, I just want to acknowledge that what we don't know is what we don't know. And we're not supposed to have known it. We always say, oh my God, I always say, I wish that I could have learned this when I was, 12 or 15 or something. My life would be different. Anybody taking personal development would deserve to want to work with your book and learn how to receive. Yes,
Exactly.
they would want to know this work. So why don't you tell everybody where they can get it, and we will also put that information down under your name. Okay. How can they get in touch with you?
Number one, they can find me in every media as Reinvéntate con Beatriz. My website is, it's written there, reinventateconbeatriz.com. Right now it's in Spanish. I'm translating. The book is in English, but I can, my workshops, I have done them in English too. And even if somebody wants to write me to my WhatsApp, I'm open. It's 506, that is Costa Rica, 8871-7484. Again, 506 Costa Rica, 8871-7484. That's my personal WhatsApp. And my email is Bea from Beatriz, BEA at reinventateconbeatriz.com. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions. You can buy the book in my website. You can buy the book in Amazon also. I can send you the link. You can buy the new game that it's called Sergio Be Me. That it's the book, it's the extract of the book in cards like this.
So hold on before you go into that. Hold on a minute. You're holding it. Okay, so let me just say something. Because we have 30 seconds left. And what we know is that if anybody wants to find out anything about your work, they got your phone number, they've got your
email.
and your name and the contact information, which we will put on. And just know that there are ways that you've worked diligently on simplicity,
Exactly.
and just to hold just one concept at a time, so that we don't have a million things flying at us, is what you're showing us right now. And I just want to just say that, to leave people with that fascination, that they can get things that are simple, and simple cards and simple ways to reflect on who they are and how they can have hope, and it's fun, and they could share it with their family members.
Exactly. And this is a game. It's an amazing game, just by cards that can open conversation, that can, it's inspirational mainly, is to reflect, because nothing, there is no good or bad answers. It's different points of view. That's it.
So
But
in the 10 seconds we have left now, I want to honor you, and then I want you to say just one thing that you would want to leave everybody with. Just one thing, okay? And how I want to honor you is the precious way you ask for what you wanted and ask God. And when we met, and it was just like you pulled off that sheet and said, I asked God for somebody could help me, and then you came into my life. And I think that is a blessing for both of us, that we meet in a divine way. And then we're not pushing anything on each other. We're supposed to be together. Yes, we were supposed to be together. And so if you could say anything in 10 or 15 seconds, and we'll just to leave the audience with just one thought in about 10 or 15 seconds, what would you say?
I say that you matter, that you're very important. Just turn on your light and you will shine around you. And with you turning on your light, you allow the people around you to turn the light on too. So when there is light and more light, no darkness around us, we will live better, connecting the dots. We don't have to spread the dots. We are all the dots connected, so we can weave a nicer blanket, let's say, to cover ourselves in
So
love.
I want everybody to check on this beautiful woman, to let everybody know that who you are makes a difference. And we'll see you in a world where you know that who you are makes a difference, and the dreams really do come true where there's love. And I love all of you.